Hey everybody, it's Max McAllister here from Traxxion Dynamics today, and I'm going to go over a couple of fine points here of using our shock spring compressing tool on the Honda GL 1800 shock. This tool can be used on all shocks from 2001 up through present, all the way through 2022, if you happen to be changing out your shock absorber, changing your spring, or maybe working on your preload adjuster, adding a braided stainless line. So we've done a video on how to service the preload collar in the past where Martin walks you through all the steps. But what we came across is an image on the internet of one of our shock spring compressors that supposedly collapsed all by itself. So what I want to do is see just what it takes to make that happen, because I don't know. We've sold this product for over 10 years, and in history there has been one single time that we've seen that picture, and it came because the owner forgot to remove the set screw that holds the collar on the body of the shock. And for some unknown reason, he just started cranking on it, it started bending. He kept cranking on it, it started collapsing, he kept cranking on it until he collapsed it all the way in on itself. Why someone would do that is completely beyond me. I have no explanation for it. If you see a tool deforming or doing something wrong, stop, call the company that made it, and ask them, hey, is there something I might be doing wrong? And at which point we'll give you, that company hopefully has some tips. In this case, set screw is a big one. But so I went up into our junkyard and found like one of the worst shocks I could possibly find. So that somebody, when we do this, by the way, I have no idea how long this video is going to take. It might take 15 minutes. I don't know. But I wanted a shock that was horrible. That's, so somebody can't say, well, yeah, that shock came apart easy because it's brand new. This shock is horrible. You can't even see the wire clip in it anymore. You can't put the tool into the set screw hole because it's so full of dirt and fuzz and stuff that the tool won't even go into the set screw. So real quick, while I'm talking, I'm going to go wash the top layer off of this. You would not want to work on a shock this dirty. Clean your components before you try and take them apart. It's always helpful. This one we don't care about. That hole is open to the slave cylinder. This is for demonstration purposes. You'd obviously not want to fill this up with water. But yours would still have your hose on and all that kind of stuff. So this is a little bit odd on that example in that the whole preload adjusting mechanism is missing from this shock. But the part that holds the spring on is all we're concerned with on this present iteration. That's going to get pretty hot. Now for this dealio here, we're really concerned with what's underneath. This wire clip is what we're after. So I'm just using what a guy at home might have. This is just a piece of Scotch-Brite. I'm just going to try and clean this up a little bit. In fact, I'm not even going to do that good a job because I kind of want to pretend I'm doing a bad job and see just, how, if there's the nastiest, crustiest shock that we've got around here that we've pulled out, if it works, or how it works, or what it would take to do that to the tool. So a little bit cleaner, nothing crazy. And mind you, my guys do this work around here, so I don't actually work on these shocks anymore. Martin is our lead tech. He does all this work. So here's our set screw. And actually, if you look in close to the camera, you can look through and see the set screw. I don't know if you can see it there with that. Let me grab a light. you'll be able to see it poking through and touching into the body. So can you see that set screw? So it's jammed into the body, and its purpose is to hold the collar oriented properly, okay? So say if you're doing this job and you happen to screw up and you forget how it was oriented, you'll be able to find the mark where that was at. Now, this one came loose, that's fine. Once in a blue moon, you may have one that doesn't want to, and if that's the case, you can apply some heat here with a heat gun or a little torch. You're not trying to get it burning, just trying to get it warm. Just so our test is as objective as possible, I've got a tool in a wrapper so that the internet haters can't say, oh, you picked out the best one or something. I don't know. There's a lot of weird people on the internet. All right, so here's this tool. So the only thing you need to there's two things with the tool that you could do wrong with just the tool. Throw a little grease or oil on the threads of it, and that'll make it last longer. Realistically, you're going to use this tool one time in your life. You're really not going to use it more than once, most likely. I don't have a bolt, but I'm just going to get a pin out of our shock dyno area here. Here's something. You can use the bolt right out of your bike for this. That's not long enough. I'll just use this thing. Sorry, I'm a little fumbly. Here we go. All right, so there's a bolt, your pin, whatever you, like I said, you can use the one right out of your bike. So you orient this donut. It's obvious how that goes there. There's a bevel that goes down around that, and the little ring is designed to fit inside the shock tower. See the little ring? Fits inside the shock tower, so it's all nice and organized there. You can kind of see the area where you're gonna work the threads. So there you can throw a little grease. If you don't have any, you can spray, some sort of lubricant just so it's not bone dry is the best thing. And then the other one is, don't use a power tool, like an impact tool on this. So this type of threads, these are just normal machine threads. They're not designed for impact level hits. So years ago, we've used these tools, fork spring compressors that were made by Racetech, and inside of those tools was the same machine thread type stuff. Using them professionally every day under constant duty, we could wipe out the threads on the nut because we actually used to use an impact on them, and we had our own custom modified. Those are actually still 20-year-old Racetech tools that we had modified to use Acme threads, square threads inside of them. But that's for a professional. We're just a guy who's going to do his own shock. So this is a 3/4 inch wrench, and all we're going to do is get to where you can see the clip. And you might need to have your reading glasses on to do that. So, so down in here is the clip. Okay, let me get the pick. I think Martin keeps a particular pick organized. Here's some light. I'm going to point to the clip. Here's the clip. You might actually look around for the gap in the clip. Would be, a helpful thing to help you do it. So what I'm going to do is, as you can see how little effort this takes, this is the amount of effort this takes. I got one finger and a wrench, and I'm going to turn this down. I'm going to turn it down pretty far, just because I want to make life easy on myself. So come and see here. Here's our gap in the in the shock. There's the clip, and you can take a pick and get that clip off. Now, but for our experiment here, I got to find a way to damage this. So I'm not, this is obviously nothing. I'm going to go back to my pinky here. So now, so I'm going to, I don't know what it takes to damage this, but I'm going to start cranking on it here and see what it would take to damage this. Because I don't know. All right, so if you come, oh wait, Mr. Cameraman, don't worry. Actually, you might go around to this side. So what we're looking at is the tower here. We're looking for it to start bowing out and collapsing in some way. So I'm still able to turn this, with one finger. But at this point, I've reached like moronic level. The clip is like fully, completely above the tool. Now, okay. So I'm just still doing this. Just for, if this tool dies, I'm going to go get another one. Okay, so at this point, the clip is 1/4 of an inch above the tool. Like, I can't imagine anybody ever going, here, come around here. So you can even use this to pry at this point, all right? So you would take that clip off, got my finger, and unwind this, all right? So that's all that's involved in this tool. Now, there's one way, and one way only, that I know you can destroy this tool. And that's to forget to remove the screw, the set screw. So now that we've taken the worst shock we have, you can run this tool with one finger. I'm going to put the set screw back and see what it takes to do, see how that does. Because this is the only way I've ever heard of in 10 years that one person destroyed this tool. All right. So I've put the set screw back. Now, let's pretend I forgot that. Honest mistake, I just forgot. Or I didn't see our video on this topic. I'm just going to start. So, can't really. So quite a bit more force already. It's quite stuck now. There's no chance I'm actually going to go to 2 hands now, because this is not a one-handed job anymore. All right. Okay. Okay, so the set screw is drugged down and caught on the circlip. In this case, it's actually ripping the circlip out of the shock. Let me try this another way. All right, so that didn't get it. That click was the circlip going back up in. I just didn't have this tight enough. Here we go again. I'm going to start doing this from one side because I don't want to have my arm over the top of it unnecessarily. Still not bowing. Alright, I'm not able to get it to, fail. So, the question you have to ask yourself is, How much force would it take to get one to bend into a litter rim? Come on, I want to see it. I want to see it. All right, it's starting to divot now, a little bit. Now it doesn't start bowing out, but the top is starting to cave in. All right, now, would you do this? Would you do this to your shock? All right, it's starting to bend. Still not there. We're going for this. This is what we're after. We're going to do what this guy did. Now, it's going to be my suspicion that to get to that level, the only thing that stops me from doing this is going to be that the wrench hits the cage of the tool. All right, let's see. Well, no, the wrench didn't hit the cage of the tool. But at this point, I guess I've decided that I should stop. So, the question is, would you do that to your tool and your shock, or would you stop and ask someone else's help before that happened? So, the answer is, I hope you would not do that to your shock. Interesting, the grease on the threads kept it from, it didn't gall up or mess up. I'll be honest, I never expected it to take that kind of effort to damage this tool. That's way beyond anything I imagined. I thought it actually, if you were just doing a bad job, you could probably damage it pretty easily, but that is not the case. Let me put that back. All right, so if something seems wrong when you're using a tool, it probably is. Stop and get some help. So there's a thread on the internet that insinuates that this tool is somehow defective and can just fail all by itself. Okay, and this is the picture that's posted. I want everybody to kind of be certain that what you've seen here will demonstrate this tool cannot destroy itself. So someone has to intervene and be doing things they probably shouldn't be doing. So, remove the set screw and you shouldn't have this problem. And if it's not moving, stop. So, key to the tool, everything you need to do, you should be able to do with just one finger. That's how easy it is. If you're really pulling on it to stop, something's gone wrong, and see if you can figure out another approach, or call us, and we'll see if there's any other steps we've got. But we've been changing Goldwing shocks springs for, we're in our 2005 was the first one here, 2006, so 16 years, and we've never had one that we couldn't just move the collar down and take the clip off, and that was it. So anyway, here's a video about how not to use the Traxxion Dynamics shock spring compressor and when to stop. My name's Max. Please give this video a thumbs up if you like it, and keep an eye out for more videos. I'm way behind. It's been a long time since I've been on the internet. In fact, I'm probably going to do some more right now.